Hello and welcome back. It's been a while. Today we're gonna look at running StyleGAN3 on Windows. But before, I'd like to address the obvious. There's no weird fancy intro. I've been busy enough in the last couple months. I've moved countries, I've acquired a new day job, and honestly, I just want to get some content out and kind of focus on like information over presentation for the time being. So I think the best alternative is to just simplify the setting, record a couple videos, really talk about the stuff that I want to talk about and not drift off too far into perfectionism with like fancy video editing. So for the time being, I'm going to use a simpler setup, less refined videos, but hopefully still the same information content. So let's talk about StyleGAN3 and how to run it on Windows, which is not completely without problems. So let's look at the GitHub page, and the real video starts at 1:28. So we're here at the GitHub page of StyleGAN3, or alias-free generative adversarial networks. The really interesting difference, which I've already experimented with some self-trained networks as well, is that instead of having this rigid grid XY coordinates that led to a lot of texture sticking in the old StyleGAN, we now have the algorithm basically find its own coordinate system, which there's a lot of interesting details in the paper how they basically reanalyzed and reinvented the whole signal processing for this. But without going into too much detail, this just means that the content is much more fluid in the pictures when they're generated as a video especially, and it just gives a lot more believability, if I can call it like that, to the images, where it's like it doesn't show as many of the obvious artifacts as the previous StyleGAN if trained properly. But for today, we're just going to look at like how do I get the basic StyleGAN3 running on Windows at all, and how do I generate some first images. So here's the whole GitHub page. The first thing we're obviously going to do is we are cloning the repository. So I'm here already in a Anaconda PowerShell prompt. I'm in this video not going to go into all of the details on how to set up like the CUDA, the Anaconda, the NVIDIA drivers and all that stuff. This is the same computer that I used for the StyleGAN2 tutorial on Windows, and as far as I can tell, after installing the correct Anaconda environment, which does have some tricks to it, all the NVIDIA stuff that I had before for StyleGAN2 still applies and works the same on StyleGAN3. So we're going to focus in this video on really the Anaconda part and how to set up the new environment. And if you want to like get more of the technical details on what all the requirements that you need to install are, you should look back at the StyleGAN2 video, and that should hopefully help you out. If you just go through the checklist of installing, I believe it was like CUDA, NVIDIA drivers, Visual Studio, and Anaconda itself, of course. And I'm not sure if I'm missing something, but I'll put a link on the video, click above somewhere for the StyleGAN2 video, and there you can check it out in more detail. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is obviously we're gonna clone the repository here. So I opened the folder here in Explorer just to see a bit more what we're doing. Right, and now for the first time, I believe, they actually ship an environment YAML file themselves. So in theory, all we need to do is cd into StyleGAN3, and then we are going to try to use their own environment YAML here, and set up the environment as NVIDIA has defined and see if that works. So the command to set up the environment from the YAML file with Anaconda is, let me cheat a little and look into my bash history by typing conda env create. Right. I've done this before, and if you type Control R and then start typing, it will search the last command that matches. So we're going to do this. I'm just confirming with enter. So now we're loading the environment YAML, and we already got the first error. Awesome. So let's actually look into the environment YAML. Pretty simple, straightforward. Just tells you here the name of the environment is called StyleGAN3. Then it uses the channels PyTorch and NVIDIA for further packages. And then it tells you, oh yeah, I'm going to use Python 3.8, pip, numpy, all that good stuff. And what my error tells me, package not found, cudatoolkit 11.1. So that would be this one. So let's try and fix this. I will open the environment YAML file with Visual Studio Code. Right, let's for now just try and take out the environment, the version number from cudatoolkit. See how that helps. And run this again. And now now Anaconda actually finds all the required packages apparently, and starts downloading all the packages required to make this environment run. This can take some time. I'm gonna look at the clock and then probably edit this out and give you like a little bit of a summary how long this actually takes. All right, actually, never mind. This was super fast. We're already done. I think because I already did this before once, all the packages were already like cached on my computer, so I didn't have to download everything again. There are a couple of packages that are in the hundreds of megabytes or like over a gigabyte. So it, depending on your internet, it can take a little bit of time. But hey, we are here. So let's just try. Go straight for it. Conda activate StyleGAN3 as it tells us here. And now we go back to the README. And let's make some images. What do we need for images? Getting started. Pre-trained networks, super. Generate an image using pre-trained AFHQ. Animal faces high quality. Nice. Let's just copy and paste this whole test command. Why not? All right, we got some errors. Awesome. These errors are because my PowerShell bash, my PowerShell shell doesn't recognize this Unix or Linux sign for please continue on the next line. So this would not be a problem in bash, but on Windows it is, or in PowerShell it is. So let's take this command, put this whole thing on one line, copy it over and run it again. So now we're downloading actually the pre-trained model. So the network command here tells us go to nvidia.com and download the StyleGAN3 model, StyleGAN3 -R, which means rotation invariant, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, and AFHQ v2, so Animal Faces HQ version 2 in 512 by 512 resolution. So that is the StyleGAN model that we are downloading for this test. So there we are. Right, so now we have our first problem, which is no CUDA runtime is found. Using CUDA home, let's actually look into this folder here. So it's looking for a CUDA driver, or the CUDA runtime, CUDA toolkit in this folder here. So let's actually look into that. I'm just copying the path here and I paste it over here. And it does look to me like there's something here, like it's down in a bin file folder, but that should normally be enough. So, and this is where the environment YAML, or where the problem occurs that I actually ran into with this environment YAML. And to see what's really going wrong, let's look at what packages we actually have installed after just like scanning this environment YAML for Anaconda. And we do that by conda and list, I think. Yeah. No, that is not the right one. Sorry. Clear. Conda packages list. Conda package list. Conda list. We're doing this by conda list. And what we see here right in the middle of the screen already, CPU only PyTorch. CPU only PyTorch. That sounds like it doesn't want to find CUDA at all, doesn't it? So I'm not sure why this actually really happens, or if this is a Windows only problem. But so the big thing the big problem to getting this to run on Windows really is that if you just blindly install the environment YAML that is shipped, it gives you this PyTorch that is meant for CPU only machine learning, which obviously doesn't work because StyleGAN requires graphics cards. So we need to uninstall this and actually install the PyTorch version that comes with GPU compatibility. So let's go over to pytorch.org. We'll go here to install, and what we want is the stable Windows Conda Python CUDA. What CUDA are we on? cudatoolkit 11.5. Okay, let's pick this one. Great. So this is the command for installing the correct PyTorch with the correct CUDA. So what we're going to do is we are going to conda uninstall everything we have with Torch. And for that we can simply say conda uninstall asterisk torch asterisk, and that basically wildcard uninstalls every package that has Torch in its name. So let's do that. And it tells us here these 4 packages will be removed, and we confirm with yes. Okay, cool. And now we use this command instead here. And wait for that to install properly. And again, we confirm here. And I think because I already did this before for testing, I probably had that cached already. This might, of course, take again some time to download. But yeah, now we have the correct conda packages, hopefully. So let's see what happens if we go back in our shell history and say gen images again. So now the StyleGAN model should be cached and it's not downloading it again. So it's just loading it, it's generating the image for the seed. All right, so that ran through without errors. So what did we do here? We do gen images, generate images, and out there is out, truncation is 1, seeds is 2. So the random seed for the image generation is 2. If you want to know what truncation is, it's basically like a parameter for how the image is generated. I've made another video based on StyleGAN2 on what kind of parameters there are and like how they affect image rendering. I'll link that up there again. But basically means something similar to confidence, where the lower the truncation, the more StyleGAN will make sure that it actually looks like something that could be from your original images. Like it will produce images where it's like super sure that it's from the original distribution. Whereas like a high truncation, like over 1, makes StyleGAN go much more creative. Mario Klingemann used that really impressively for like very early heavy truncation videos, and I'm still a big fan of those. Might as well link them here somewhere as well. Right, so, and then which network we use or which pre-trained model is of course this one here, the Animal Faces HQ from NVIDIA. So let's go back to our folder here and look into the out directory, and indeed we have a little generated cat here. Isn't that nice? For fun, let's try the other command as well here. Again, we'll make this into one line in Notepad because Windows is stupid sometimes. And paste that, copy, paste that into here. This one will actually produce like a video. Sorry for my for the noise now that it's actually rendering a lot and stuff. I'm doing this on a laptop, and the fans just kicked in because the graphic card is starting to get hot. But yeah, so this one is actually a video with a lerp interpolation. That's why they call the output lerp MP4. Truncation 1 again, the seeds, so it will basically what this script does, it generates like 31 or 32 if you include the 0 as a seed as well. 32 different images, interpolate between them, and then render the result as a video. And it also does that in a grid, 4x2. So the result that we're expecting here is, zoom out a little bit so that it's fully in here. The result that we're expecting here is a 4x2 grid with images morphing between each other. This is actually a long rendering process on my laptop GPU, so I'm gonna cancel this. And yeah, rendering 8 images side by side is nice, but I'll take out the grid command to only have 1, so this is a bit faster. So now it only renders one image that is shifting. Actually, also cancel this again and do like a couple less iterations here. All right, so the rendering is complete. Let's have a look at the results. It's just here in the main folder. And now we can see there's the animal faces morphing in between them. And here you can really see the advantages of StyleGAN3 over StyleGAN2. The faces really smoothly transition into each other, even though like the eyes and the noses are not very aligned in the training data set. In StyleGAN2 you would have like a lot of weird effects where the network kind of tries to force the eyes to be in specific places, or you would see the individual hair of the animals like kind of stutter over as it's interpolating between different animals, just because the fixed grid coordinate system that StyleGAN2 used to have really encourages the neural network to learn the textures that are in certain positions of the image. It's the best I can describe. There's a long description in the paper if you're interested to read, and I encourage you to read it. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, the short explanation for what was going on in StyleGAN2 was that unintentionally the coordinate system got kind of leaked into the neural network, and the neural network was kind of cheating a little bit and trying to use like the coordinate system as a crutch to help with the texture generation, and that led to these kind of unpleasant effects where the textures would stick in certain parts of the image. I think while we talk about this, there should be on like the project page of this. I think it's this one. On this project page there should be a better here. If you compare the beards here you have this coordinate system cheating where the beard kind of like sticks in weird positions and then the texture doesn't like smoothly interpolate, whereas here the beard really floats nicely with the face. So that is like one of the main features that they fixed here, or that they improved upon. All right, so this should already tell you everything you need to know. Like this definitely works now. It's a bit cumbersome. I'm gonna summarize what we've did, or what the 3 important commands were really. The conda and create to import the environment given by NVIDIA. Then the conda uninstall to uninstall the wrong PyTorch CPU only stuff. And then lastly the conda install that we got from the PyTorch website to get all the correct packages to actually do PyTorch on the GPU and not on the CPU, which is required for StyleGAN3. So this already should tell you everything, or should tell you everything in combination with my StyleGAN2 installation video where I set up all the drivers and stuff that I don't want to repeat for this video. But just for fun, let's see if we can write an environment YAML that does this automatically, and we don't that just works, and we don't have to do this inelegant uninstall the wrong ones and then install the correct ones again. Okay, this also worked. Great. I'm honestly not sure why or why not the original version PyTorch 191 defaults to the CPU only PyTorch on this. But I know that this is an error that some other people who texted me on Instagram, shout out to my Instagram by the way, and all the socials here somewhere, that someone else also got. So I assume it's a reproducible problem. I'm not 100% certain why. Like, my theory was that somehow the torch audio, torch vision in the other command gives the hint that that you actually want the GPU version, but apparently I'm wrong. So let's do the following. Let's call this thing environment again. And close this and go with a name back to StyleGAN3. And now we use the magic of Git and open this folder. Okay, maybe should have done this the whole time, but it's fine. And now we can go look at this one and actually look at what we changed. And really all I did to get the latest environment -alt2 YAML, which we now renamed to environment YAML, was I changed these two version numbers, and then it picked the GPU version of PyTorch and everything worked correctly. I'm not quite sure why, but it's fun to discover how things work. This might be a Windows only problem. This might be a problem on Linux as well, though honestly when I'm on Linux I use the Docker version. I don't know what happened here, but I've shown you two ways to fix this. Either to, as you can see here on screen, edit the environment YAML, or to just uninstall and reinstall PyTorch as we did earlier. And then hopefully you too will soon be able to render random animal faces and other good stuff with StyleGAN3. Alright, so let's do the transition to the full screen again. Yay. So I hope this video helped you. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff. Yeah, I have not gonna go a Patreon call out this time. If you really want to subscribe or support me, you can go into one of the other videos and find the link there. But honestly, I'm not sure how regular I will be able to update. I'm hoping with this more casual setup, I'll get a little bit more information out on a regular basis, but I don't want to make any promises. So before you go and donate on Patreon or anything, just like check out some other videos, subscribe for a month or two and see where this is going. That's really the best thing you can do, I think. But yeah, feel free to like drop me an email, write some comments if I could help you, or if something else doesn't work, or if there's some part of the installation process with the drivers that didn't really work in my StyleGAN2 video, or if there's any other trouble, feel free to write a comment. Yeah, again, have an Instagram, I have a business email, you also find all that good stuff in the description. And yeah, enjoy your rendering. Oh, I forgot. I need to make weird faces for thumbnails now, right?